Hi all, I'm Abhijit, India Web Methods Developer. Uh, in this video, I would like to explore some functionalities MuleSoft. If this works out, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to do some exercise on MuleSoft, like create a project in Mule, and then if that works out, then I would try to learn MuleSoft here and try to implement the projects which I have done in Web Methods and try to replicate some of them in MuleSoft and see how that goes. Enjoy this session. Let's so I have installed MuleSoft and I've configured installed MuleSoft from anypoint.mulesoft.com. So from there I've downloaded the zip file and then currently double clicked on the application and this project this thing got opened. So it looks similar to the web methods Eclipse. So it looks like Eclipse only and it has some palettes called debug design and API design. And from here, let me start creating a Mule project and I'll just name it as first project and click finish. I'll give it some time. Yeah, created my Mule project now. So here, what I wanted to do in this project is to do a calculator service like I'll be passing some variables. Let's assume the variables as num1 and num2, and I'll use an operation variable to do a switch. When the two numbers are supplied and the operation is add, do an addition. If two numbers are supplied and the operation is multiplication, do the multiplication. And if the operation is subtraction, do the subtraction. And finally, do the division if the operation is division. So let's start. I've double clicked on this project and I could see the modules in this. So I'll be using the HTTP module to call the API. So call this thing. So I'll just drag and drop this listener. And I'll configure the listener here. So for configuring the listener, you just need to click on add here. And I'll directly go and yeah, yes. In the path, I'll add calculator. You can specify base path also. Like if you wanted to have some base path, if you have multiple operations for a particular project. And let's say if I want to add here, I'll add as one base path as calculator and the operations as add, multiply, and all those things. But I don't want to use it. So I just wanted to implement that inside the Mule service and see how that works. This is the I've configured the listener. And in the advanced, I will keep it as method. And here, what I wanted to do is once I got this, I wanted to set some variables. I see they have an option called, you can search here also, variables, or you have variables. I want to set one variable, two, three variables. So these variables, I'll name it as num1. So in Mule, you have something called Mule messages defined in three types. So Mule header, Mule payload, and Mule variables. What I'm trying to do is I'm doing the third part, which is setting the variables, and I'll get the variable set dynamically. For that, I wanted to uh, extract the values from header. So what I'll do is I'll add something called attributes for extracting the uh, header parameters. You need to use attributes, and you can use. I'll be passing it as query params, and the value will be one. Yeah. Oh, now I have set one variable, and here I'll specify another variable, which is num2. I think again, dot two e dot this value correctly, or else it will not. And last thing is it as, hope I gave it as expression here. You need to click fx here, select this function attributes dot params. So what I did here till now is I created a variable, I created a listener, I created some variables, yeah, and I created three variables. One is for taking the numbers from the header to numbers, and also the operation header. Now what I wanted to do is, once I get the operation here, I wanted to do a switch case. We call it the drag and drop these. It gives me these options as when and default, and it's but the condition in it here. It's dot very params dot equal to a pass add. What I wanted to do is, I see we have an option to transform the message. So I'll use the transform here. So in the transform, it as JSON object, you have an option to, it shows you these things, and this is the input and output paid in this payload transformation can be done. The payload transformation to be like this. It's on. What I wanted to do here is I wanted to take it in a result variable, and I see I've taken the variables as string, but I wanted to perform numeric operations here. So that's dot num1 as plus dot num2. I'm saying that okay, do this thing and say that okay, store this, do the addition and store this inside this variable code. Copy this, and in the default I wanted to check multiple conditions here. So choice is offering only two conditions here. So what I need to do is I wanted to add one more choice here. So yes, I'll drag and drop this choice again here, and I'll again write the condition as write the expression here and say attributes dot param dot equal to substitution, and paste it is inside, and say just wanted to. So same thing again. It is only giving me two options. So I'll just drag and drop the choice. Okay. Here I'll create a function and say I got the addition, I got the subtraction. Now I'll do the, and then in the transformation in this a star. Yeah. So once that is done in the default, keep the If nothing is passed here, say that do the division. So just try and see whether this will work or not. We'll go with this. The default I don't see the condition is coming up here. So let me try to add the choice again here and say might be wrong also. Forgive me if I am wrong because this is my first time I'm doing this. It's div when the operation is div. This paste it and then yeah, save this. I also want to add one more thing. So I just wanted to see what's the output that is coming up. So I'll add something log. I'll say just log me the payload, what is coming up in the output. And then let's see what we are logging. Yeah, we are logging the payload. So the result is the payload here. Run. Let run. Yes. So now what will happen is this will deploy the artifacts of the project which we have created inside the Mule runtime environment, and whatever changes you make will be deployed as and when it's done. So let's give it some time. Yeah, the build is success and it is launching a JVM. You need to just wait for the message called deployed in this case. This is the first project. It will definitely take some time, like say creating the runtime environment and deploying all those things will yeah. So just give it time. And once it is deployed, ignore the one and all those messages. Yeah. So it is deployed now. So I'll go and then get localhost operation as this 20 and 10 should give me the values there. And I click run. See, it has executed the operation add in this case, and it went here to the add one. Now, if I say sub and it has done the subtraction. Now, if I go and mul, give me 200. Yes. If, if, but so this is how you play around with the variables and use cases and the transformation yes, and all those. The main reason for using variables is to store the data, or you can do the data also. But in this case, I wanted to the data dynamically. That's the reason I was extracting the data from the parameters here, and then I have used the switch case to check on the operations and performed it. This can be similarly performed in web methods also. So it's just that has its own uh, designer interface where you use the branch conditions and all those things. So each integration platform has its own GUI to do it. So thank you for your time, and this is my first project in MuleSoft. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you.